Woo woo. Hey there, people. I feel like it's been way too long since we did this. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good people. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's hump day. Let me make sure the platforms know that we're here. Make sure they tell everybody that we're here. That we're here, that we're live. We're here and we're live. We're live. We're here, we're live. We're here, we're live. Good morning. Got to see what this market. Yesterday, the market ran and ran and ran and ran. Just past, talk about all-time highs. I broke the rule that I tell y'all, well, my motto. It's not really a rule. It's a motto that I have. And my motto is to trade what you see. That's my motto, right? And I broke my own motto yesterday, which is to trade what you see. I was trading what I expected to see, what I was anticipating to see. That's what I did yesterday. I was trading what I was anticipating, and I spent the whole day fighting it. And then at the end of the day, it rolled right on past what my anticipations were. I'm passing the word on here. That's I'm not distracted. I'm passing the word. Passed it on. There we go. So that's what I did. I traded. I anticipated that. I didn't mean to remove that. I anticipated that the market would turn back at all-time highs. Hey, morning, Ward. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Denise. And hey, Robert. I thought the market would turn back at when it got to the all-time high. It didn't. I anticipated, or as some people say, predicted. But you can't predict in this market. This was yesterday that we're looking at on this screen. It didn't. It just kept on pushing. It just kept on pushing, and it pushed right on past my strikes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. So, hey, Wink, I had to manage that, and it's my rule. It's my cardinal motto. My cardinal motto is to trade what you see, right? That's my motto. And I'm all about trying to be transparent. I try to be transparent with you all and with those who hang out with me. Definitely want y'all to know that anybody who tells you they get it right every time, they lying. If they say they get it right every time, they lying, because they don't. People don't. We don't get it right every time. I don't get it right every time. I ain't even trying to play like that. So you don't get it right every time. And you look back at it and you say, there's nothing on here that would have said that this was going to do anything, or there was going to be a stop happening here, because there wasn't one. It was, no, I didn't want you to do that. It was not. It was basically just running all day yesterday. It just ran all day. 15-minute support resistance. That's what that is right there. Putting on lines, putting on some lines. Yep, putting on some lines. Putting on some lines. This is something that should be done either after the market closes or before the market opens. You should put in some lines that let you know where is your support resistance, your gaps. Support resistance and gaps is something that should be done each day after or before you get ready to trade. So you'll have zones. You'll have zones. There's actually something in here too. Y'all see how this thing left VWAP and never even came back? This blue line is my VWAP line here. Just ran and ran and ran. This was turnaround right here. It opened up, dropped down a little bit. Folks thought it was going down, and it said, nope, not so. I'm not going down. I'm going on up, and it hit this line hard. This is a nice set of tweezers. Let me put a line down here. Nice set of tweezers down here. Let me get a line. It's a nice set of tweezers for a good solid support, and it moved off of this 63.91. It moved off of there and never looked back. It moved off of here, never looked back off of here. But I should write here strong support. It moved off of 63.90 and never looked back. That's what SPX did yesterday. It didn't even come back to retest it. It just said, I'm out of here. This is an engulfing candle, let you know it was serious. And it ran on from here. It took a little pause for I took a minute to just get my bearings. And it moved off the dime, baby. Moved off the dime all day. Anyway, that was yesterday. So, needless to say, I said all that stuff. I took a loss yesterday, and now I got to manage the rest of the week. Got to stay focused. Focus. Okay, let's go look at what we're looking at. I know I haven't been on here since last week because this past weekend I was celebrating my 17th wedding anniversary with my boyfriend. My boyfriend husband. He's really my husband, not just my boyfriend. But I was celebrating, so we were traveling. So I haven't been on YouTube in a little while, but here I am. I'm here. I'm back. I'm here. I'm back. Long weekend. So and school's getting ready to start back up here next week, but I wanted to make sure I was coming on this morning. Good morning, Janae. Happy midweek. Happy hump day. All right, let's go see what's we looking at this morning. All right, the VIX is at 14. Let me change it so we can see everything on the screen. The VIX is at 1449. Y'all know the VIX is low. When the VIX is low or lower, when the VIX is lower, that means that the market is up higher. The VIX is lower, the market is higher. That's how that goes. Trying to close some stuff because it says in my memory, it's choose some stuff to close. Okay. I think we're good for now. All right. So VIX is at 1440. There we go. VIX is low. Market is up higher. Big tech is back, and the move is not yet overdone. Another AI-infused rally is sending the S&P 500 to record highs. I think I know NVIDIA yesterday was running. NVIDIA ran, which carried S&P 500 right on with it because that's the major piece of the S&P 500 is NVIDIA. Kava stock tumbled. CoreWeave slides, those both didn't do. People are kind of looking at CoreWeave these days. Stock futures climb as Fed rate cut bets surge after inflation data. Crypto's having a breakout summer, and Bitcoin isn't the reason. Market gauges of volatility are fading despite high uncertainty. U.S. leads market. We're going to wait. U.S. leads markets higher. We're going to wait as world adapts to the tariff policies. I thought that whole thing with China, I guess it was bullish. We talked about the China that they were, we got a notice yesterday, day before yesterday, that they were waiting for that or something. And then we say, was that bullish? And I think it was, because it was yesterday was definitely a nice little, just one more piece of data that added to it. Investors playing more defense, even as stocks climb to new high. Yep, that's what's happening. That's what we got off of Yahoo Finance. All right. CNBC, Dow futures up 127, S&P futures up 14, NASDAQ futures up 69, oil and 10-year bonds are both red. Stock futures rise as S&P 500 and NASDAQ get set to build on record highs. In Europe, Stock 600, well, basically everything here is green. European stocks extend gains after Wall Street's record highs. In Asia, ASX 200, is the only one that's red. Japan's Nikkei 225 hits fresh high as Asian markets track Wall Street gains on Fed rate cut hope. So let's look at crypto. Everything green over in crypto land. Everything is green. Bitcoin is above 120,000. All right, that's what's happening on CNBC. Let me see if there's some news down here. We needed to say how big tech is paying its way out of Trump's tariff. Stock futures rise. Stocks are celebrating inflation's demise prematurely. Jim Cramer tells investors to stay the course even when it feels tough. Haynes Brands agrees to a $4.4 billion deal with Canada's Gildan actor. Gildan's been around a good little minute. That might be a good little mashup for those two. Let's see what's on the list for this morning. FOMC member Barkin spoke at 10:30. We got crude oil inventories, which really is an orange folder. President Trump is scheduled to speak at 11:15. Ding, ding, ding. Not sure why that's an orange folder. It definitely needs to be read. Anytime he starts talking, something happens. Every time he starts speaking. 1 o'clock. FOMC member Goolsbee and Bosick will speak at 1:30. PPI is tomorrow morning. PPI is tomorrow morning. What is the one that they've decided to there's one that they decided not to show the report because the numbers are off or whatever. Anybody know? Yes, I got married on 8808 at 8. Yes, at 8. That's the interesting piece too. That is pretty. Thanks. We got married on 8808 at 8 p.m. And you already know that the minister for my service was a pastor, and he intertwined the eights all in our wedding ceremony in such a masterful way. But yeah, 8808 at 8 was our wedding. That's my wedding day. So 8 is my number. That's our number. It's our number. So yeah, this is what's going on. So today we've got a few things happening. President Trump speaking is the main one, and then tomorrow morning we've got PPI, which is going to, of course, be what it is. Okay. That's today and tomorrow. Friday we've got retail sales. So a lot of things are happening this week. A lot of things we are kind of at all times highs, and I don't know if the market can sustain itself up here. But again, we trade what we see and not what we expect to see. Janae had to remind me of that. Yes, we did that at 8. Janae reminded me yesterday that predicting is ego. It's something that I actually written, but predicting is ego. Protecting is what you got with your legacy. That was very intentional. Okay, so this is today. I'm saying if anything else is here. Crude oil inventories are 3 stars. President Trump at 11:15, 3 stars. Yep, that's what's happening today. Let me see what we have in the area of earnings. What do we have in earnings? Come on, Cletus. It doesn't want to open itself. No, okay. We're not going to fight with y'all. We're not going to fight with y'all. This Merton is taking a minute to open some more screens. But I need you to open. Okay, so we already looked at SPX today. Let's move on to the other screen and we'll look at Adam's numbers, and then we'll swing back to this when it decides it's ready. When I can see some earnings. After building structure all day on Monday, SPX closed at the lows. That wasn't yesterday. That was Monday. This setup long trigger posted 8 a.m. yesterday at the reclaim of 63.76. Targets were 64.03, 64.26, 64.31. Plus, we are now 80 points past that. The plan today, 0 to do but ride the runner. Ride the runner. We did the work. 64.62 is up next. Then 64.63. Okay. That seems like that is way, those numbers are right next to each other. That doesn't make sense. Let me see what I see here. 64. Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be that. That should be 64.73. Take away 20. That should be 64. What are you doing? Hold on, y'all, while I get it. That should be 64.62 and 64.73. Yep, that's what that should be. Okay, I might have some earnings popping up here in a minute. Maybe. Okay, 64.62, 64.73. I'm going to move this to the screen so you all can see the same thing I see. instead of being there where it's not quite what I need it to be. This is really big. 642. Yeah, this should be work. This should work. Okay, I'm changing the screens. Remove and add. There we go. I'm looking around my microphone. That's why I'm leaning and looking. Okay. The plan today. Let's start there. That's where we were. Plan today. 0 to do, but ride your runner. We did the work. 64.62 is up next. Then 64.73, 64.88. These are the numbers to put on your chart. 64.62, 64.73, 64.88. 64.41 and 64.28 are the supports. 64.41 and 64.28 are the supports. From the BLS, they might suspend the jobs reports. Okay, I knew there was something that was getting suspended, and I didn't look closely enough to see exactly what was going to be suspended. All right, we'll make sure that we put this correct. Got to put the correct numbers inside of our Telegram chats. Don't want anybody going off of wrong numbers. Now, this is Adam Mancini. So if you are one who follows Adam Mancini on Twitter, he trades ES. So you have to convert his numbers. You have to convert his numbers. I'm picking the right one. You got to convert his numbers to SPX. All right. And there's a 26-point gap. I think that's what I said. I think I left my thing too fast. There we go. The gap between SPX and ES is about 26 points. So if you're looking at Adam's numbers, subtract 26 points. And if you're trading XSP, the range is from 642 to 649. That's your range there, from 642 to 649 if you're trading XSP. All right. Okay. All righty. Here's our earnings. The earnings we got from Earnings Whispers. We thank y'all. Yes, we do. Rigetti had earnings yesterday afternoon. I don't think I remembered that. This morning, the Arcos, Brinko, Elbit, Innoviz, ARS Pharma, Marex, Stratasys, ASHS, Perspective, and CAE. None of those are anything I know. Yesterday after close, though, H&R Block had earnings, and Kava and Rigetti, though, and CoreWeave. Those are the ones that we kind of heard and we know a little bit about. And then today after close, we got Cisco, Equinox Gold, D-Local, Avino, Red Robin, them overpriced burgers, Surge Pays, Electrovia, Alvotech, Standard Aero, and BioFrontera. Tomorrow morning before market opens, we've got First Majestic, JD.com, John Deere, Amcor, Canaan, Advanced Auto Parts, Nice, NetEase, Birkenstock, and Cellbrite. That's all tomorrow morning. All right, that's all that's going on there. Let me talk E2T University before I leave this screen. E2T University is actually going to open on Monday as far as being able to sign and being able to get registered. Ready to turn trading into a skill that serves your freedom. One of the things, I was gone from last Thursday evening until Monday night. I was gone in that window of time. And while I was gone, I was able to be where I was and still was able to trade and still able to do few things. One of them was some of the resources that took to be able to take the time off, to be able to be where we were, to enjoy the time while we were there without stressing over it. Some of those resources were generated by way of trading. all of it wasn't, I have a job I go to, I'm on summer break, but some of those resources came from that. But the other thing was I was able to trade while I was moving. I was able to trade while I was riding the car. I was able to be where I was. All the things, right? All the things. This is a skill. And I was in the country this time, but y'all know I've traded outside the country. There's no, you can be where you're going to be and still be trading. Right. Some people, you have a job, you got to be at that job. The remote days, everybody ain't working remote anymore. Now they're making people come back to the office. Trading offers you location freedom, time freedom, choices, all the things. And some people we're looking for the ability to make choices. And some of us feel like you may not be able to make your own choices, or you got to stay somewhere you don't want to be because you don't have a choice. And the skill of trading will open up those doors and give you the choice. Because I'm telling you, when you're at the place where if you had some other option, somebody start talking to you crazy at a spot and treating you with a lack of respect or not appreciating your presence, you're like, I don't have to take this. And that's not even being like boastful. It's basically like, I'm going to have to be disrespected at a spot. And sometimes we're being disrespected in places because we don't think we think we got to tolerate it because we don't have a choice. I got to keep this job. And because you feel like you don't have a choice. Trading is a skill that can supplement the income that you have so that you do have a choice, right? And if you haven't learned, consider coming on board E2T University, so that way you can learn a skill that gives you choices. All right. We got 12 weeks of training. I'm going to educate you. I'm going to give you what I got. Basically, I'm going to give you what I have. I'm going to teach you and I'm going to ride along with you, take you from beginning all the way up to where you can make money on a daily and a weekly basis, whatever you choose, whatever your trading style happens to be. I don't know everything. Please don't. Not everybody. She don't. No, she don't. No, she don't. I just told you I took a loss yesterday because losses go with this. But I'm still going to teach you. At this point, if you don't know, I know more than you. So come on. Let me help you come along. Right? Let me help you come along. So it's going to open up on the 18th of August. If you're interested, then, come on. We got first 3 weeks is going to be like, how do we build a foundation? What is the foundation and basic knowledge of trading? Second 3 weeks is like you're going to be at sophomore level. We're going to add in some strategies. We're going to talk about indicators and things like charting. The third 3 weeks, we're going to get a little more in depth in our strategies we're going to work on. We're going to do this all in like an academic and educational setting. And the fourth 3 weeks, you're going to be a senior. We're going to bring it all together, talk about portfolio management, how do you manage your risk, all those good things. And you can be trading along with us by then. We're going to have weekly Zoom calls, 12 weeks of trading, 12 weeks of training and trading along with us. All right. It's going to open up on Monday. So definitely you can go here to the link. I'm going to put it into the comments. I see OPEX is Friday. I'm putting in the comments and then you can go ahead and join the wait list. All righty. That is E2T University starting up. It's actually going to start in September. We're going to meet one day a week, looking at somewhere in the middle of the week, maybe meeting on Mondays. I'm leaning towards Mondays because I want us to be able to meet on a day and then be able to use what we learned that week in the market. So I'm leaning towards meeting and doing our training and learning on Mondays. So if that helps you to think about it, that's what I'm leaning towards. All righty. Okay, now we're ready to go back to, I think we're ready to go back here. Yes, we are. Okay, we are going to fix that. We had a list of trades for the week. We're partway through this week, had a list of trades, but Wednesday is a great day to actually enter credit spreads. If you are using Peakbot, you can actually look at the list, the watch list on Peakbot on Wednesdays and maybe enter for Friday. That you can do that there. But I have a list that I put out every week, and this is our list of trades. And some of these ones already closed for me. I had JP Morgan. It actually closed. I want to say it closed on Monday. It might, no, it closed yesterday. It closed. Some of these, the ones you have a star, I should have put a little thing here, a little legend. The star means that it's on both lists. The star means that it was in the neutral, so it's on both sides, on the put credit spread and the call credit spread side. But that's something you may consider looking at, is the list that is here for us. All righty, credit spreads is what we do. That's what is used on that list. That's the strategy that list is used for. If you don't know how to do credit spreads and you're interested in doing credit spreads, you need to head over to educatortotrader.com. It's our premier strategy. When I talk about my SPX trades and all that stuff, we're using credit spreads on that. All of everything I have, all the classes and courses and every access to everything that I do and have is all found at educatortotrader.com. It's all found there. Okay. I won't go to the declaration just yet because I got to go back to the chart. Back to the charts. I am hungry this morning. I worked with my trainer yesterday. I've got a new trainer. For those who know the story, I got a new trainer. I worked with her for the second time yesterday, and it was a good session. I'm very pleased. I should have changed trainers a while back, but it was what it was. And now it is what it is. All right, let's look at the pre-market. Let me turn off some stuff so that we don't have as many things showing up. Yeah, okay. SPY yesterday did the same thing that SPX did. Let me get a bigger time frame so that I don't have as much data on the screen. There we go. SPY did the same thing, basically dropped down, hit a support area, and then ran for the rest of the day, just like SPX did. Of course, they're comprised of similar things, and moved some more. That's what it did. There was a pivot point right here about 641 and some change. It moved right through it kind of paused at the pivot, but it kept right on moving. After it pivoted, it kept right on moving. It took another pause here at 642.06 and kept it pushing. So in the pre-market though, it's at 644.58. So there's a gap up opening on SPY at this point. We're about 30 minutes away from market open. 644.58 is the current price of SPY, and it closed yesterday at 642.66. So it's about $2 higher than where it closed yesterday. All right, triple Q, very similar look, did the same thing. It dipped down to 573. Well, it went a little lower, actually down to 572.49, but at 573 is where the tweezers, and it ran the rest of the day just like the other ones. Yes, it ran. And then this morning, well, let's say where did it close? It closed at 580, just a bit above 580, and it is currently at 582. Currently at 582.26. So also about $2.25 above where it closed yesterday. All right. IWM. Made me sick just looking at it, because it didn't even pause hardly yesterday. It just moved on. Anyway. This is IWM. It closed. This is basically, there wasn't even a pivot machine gun. It just ran the whole freaking day. It closed yesterday at 226.78, and it is currently at 228.59. Also a couple dollars higher than it closed. At this point, again, you trade what you see. There's going to be a gap up open. Will it gap and go some more? You'll see. It's in full time frame continuity to the upside. So it goes till it goes. Now the dilemma about all-time highs is you don't know what it will do. It continues until it stops. And it stops when it stops. That's how that goes. It goes until it doesn't. It goes until it doesn't, goes no more. That's how it goes. It goes until it quits going. That's what happens. It goes until it quits going. I need to put my my 6 lines on here, you know, previous day, close. I'm big on my 6 lines. I haven't put my 6 lines on IWM, but I look at it every day. So I really should put my things on here. All right. I'm not going to do that right now while y'all are hanging out. Cause why? Y'all ain't trying to see all that. We ain't trying to see all that, girl. We ain't trying to see all that. Where's SPX right now? Let me go look at that because I didn't even go to SPX 500. So I can show y'all where are we now. I did need to put the numbers onto, this is the daily chart of SPX. Let me put some daily lines. Y'all saw we have some support. It has some resistance. It was, now it's support. Resistance at 63.93, which is right around that area that I told y'all when it hit that hard support line. Went. That's what happened. SPX downshifted. It hit 63.93. And it took off. So funny. That's what it did, though. That's what it did yesterday. It hit it and moved out. Yes. It moved out. 63.73 is some support. 63.93 in that area is some, there's a little zone here between 63.93 and 6,400. Definitely is a zone. Resistance pivot is 64.56. It blew right on past that. Yes, it's just cruising. SPX 500 is the way we can see SPX in the post market. It's the way we can see it in the post market, and this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like. Today is the 13th, and SPX 500 is currently at 64.64. You can put a few lines up in here. What did we say on our marks from? What's going on with my? Y'all see that? Y'all see my picture? Is that me, or can I only see that, or can y'all see that too? Stage. I don't know why it is doing that. It's glitching. Okay, so you can see it too. It's not just me. Thought it was just me. All right. Must be the monitor, maybe. Could be. That's weird. Okay, well, this is like motivation to keep it going and to go on out. Oh no, I didn't want to go there. Let me just take us out because I don't know what that's all about. It's Weird Wednesday. Yeah, definitely Weird Wednesday. Okay, let's do our declaration because I don't know what that's all about. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account is growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get well. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want. Well, I'm going to put myself back on the screen, and that is super weird right there. Let me see if I change cameras, will it quit? It just glitched all the way out. It's like, nope, we're not doing it. It switched cameras. I don't know what that is all about, Lord. Have mercy. Okay, let's see. Well, it don't even want to open the camera back up now. Okay, maybe it's something inside of StreamYard, because that's the StreamYard is the Okay, y'all don't need to see that. That doesn't do us any good. Let me take us back to this screen. At least give you something to look at while I close us out. Not that, this. Okay, I got to remove this. Take us back to the screen. I feel like I needed to show you something else. I think that's a StreamYard issue. StreamYard is the platform that I use to stream to the multiple platforms. That's SPX 500. We've got some support here at 64.39. You can see from these places, and there's a little bit at 64.43, and then up again at 64.54. All right. Okay, everybody. We're going to do two things today. We are going to stay green. We are going to get this money, and we're going to have a great green day. All right, everyone. All righty. I will see you all in the market. If you're in my community, I will see you all in the chat. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. I can't even wave at you, but I'm waving anyway. Y'all can see me waving. Bye.